What's up, guys? It's Frankie. Here are 5 things, by the way, that will really stop and downright just thwart and make it so you don't have any damn sales in your agency. This sucks when it happens, and if you can identify one of these 5 things as the true root cause, you can fix it, and then you can really turn that on. And I've had an experience where you can be like struggling for like 6 months, can't break through in the sales, and as soon as you make one of these tweaks, all of a sudden all you get are like credit cards, and you'll have all kinds of delivery and fulfillment problems and SOPs and things like that. But those are better problems to have than like, hey, I don't have enough clients and I'm not hitting my income goals. So let's get into how to do that. All right, mistake number 1 that I see people make pretty frequently is the offer is just not specific enough. So I have a friend, like for example, and his offer used to be, if you're a business owner, I can increase your profits. Now that's like, I'm not saying it's a terrible thing, but I'm a business owner and I don't think that's for me. And it's not really clear what kind of profits or how he would do it. It's way more powerful to be specific. I just saw an offer the other day and it said in there, it said, hey, if you're a mortgage broker doing between 2 to 3 million a month in Australia, this is our sweet spot. We have a secret formula to get you to 10 million. It's not about running more leads. It's not any of those things, not a coaching thing, but we need 12 months and we've been proven we can do this and create this result over and over. If you're interested, you can watch this presentation and fill out this form. That is so much more believable because of the specificity. So remember this phrase, specificity prints cash. Almost always, if I take most people's agency offers and I change the name and the faces and the numbers, you could barely tell the difference. Like from one SEO company to another, the promises are virtually identical. Mistake number 2 that I see is the ask feels more like a marriage than like a first date, right? So like if you think about human psychology, I meet somebody at a bar and I say, oh, we have flying fish. How cool is that? That's fucking epic. I hope you guys saw that. I hope my shoddy camera work, you didn't miss that. Yes. So if it feels too much like a marriage, like if I walk up to somebody at a bar and I say, hey, I think you're pretty cute. How would you like to marry me? Even being charming or interesting, you're probably going to get a lot of no. And they're probably going to ask for references, maybe even a proposal. Say, okay, well, I want a wedding proposal, right? And who's going to say yes to that? Probably not the ideal types of people. But if I say, hey, you seem really cute, you seem really interesting, how about we go for a little 20-minute coffee date, see if it makes sense for us to connect further. Like, you seem interesting, it seems cool, but I don't really know for sure. You're going to have a lot more success with that, right? So I used to do this when my SEO was like a marriage. It said, hey, I just met you, let's do this for 12 months. That's a marriage, right? When I would say, hey, let's just do this one little keyword or this one little mini site, it opened the door, right? Because it sounds more like a coffee date. So that's reason number 2 that people have hard to sell offers. Reason number 3, by the way, is the risk is all on the client. Now, if you want to be an entrepreneur, then you got to be the one to take all the risk. And that doesn't mean, by the way, what we think it does, where it means you always have to like have these exotic guarantees or your money back. Like I've seen lately, we'll get you this result or give you $1,000 back. I'm not saying those are inherently bad things, but if you're asking clients to be the one to take all the risk, you're gonna have a hard time selling your thing. So you wanna think about ways where it's easy for them to say yes to it. So it's like, for example, like often I'll say to a client, hey, let's run a little first date. I'll be the one to bring in the people. I'll set up all the things, I'll do all the work, and you can pay me at the end of it. Like, so it'll take us a week to set this up, and at the end of the week you can pay me. There's really no risk, right? So it's like, hey, if it works, I'll pay you. If it doesn't, we lost a couple of days, no big deal, right? And we want to think about the full spectrum of risk, not just the money risk, but also the time and the energy risk. Right? We want to make that very, very low risk for our clients. 4th reason, I haven't really talked about this in these videos, but this is so key, which is that your plan to produce the results is not clear enough. I call these plan objections. So I see this come up, like for example, sometimes the plan objections will be like if I say to you, like for example, like, hey, I'd love to give you 10 grand. Chances are you're probably gonna be cool with accepting 10 grand from me. But what you need is a believable plan for where that 10 grand is gonna come from, right? Like it has to be like legit, in other words, right? So on top of like the result you're going to produce, you need like to have like 3 to 5 steps that explain to somebody start to finish how those results are going to happen. You do that and what you'll find is you'll get far less resistance on it. There's a big difference between I will get you a motorcycle case valued at $80,000 and I will get you a motorcycle case valued at $80,000, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to Facebook, I'm going to target motorcycle people, I'm going to run a little motorcycle ad, it's going to drive them to a landing page that talks about a motorcycle book, they're going to opt in for the book, and after they get the book, they're going to get a bunch of emails about motorcycle cases, and that's how we're going to make the phone ring with motorcycle people, right? So like there has to be the believability. The best way I've ever found to do that is with a 3 to 5 step plan. Fifth reason, by the way, that so many people are struggling with their kind of like offer and selling is it's just not fucking unique enough. As long as you sell to humans, by the way, if you trigger the response called "I've heard that before," you're gonna have a much harder time selling it than if that triggers the "Hey, that sounds new, exciting, and different." And so one of the big challenges, and this sometimes like in some niches it's very easy to do if you've like really come up with something, but sometimes if you're doing some like shit that's been around forever, like SEO or whatever, you got to get really creative. I've used this one recently, probably beaten it to death, but it really makes the point. And I didn't come up with this offer, but I had a client say to me, this is when I was doing a whole bunch of plastic surgery SEO, I had a very hard to sell marriage offer, and it resulted in me getting ghosted and proposals and chasing people, and sales were hard. And then one day a client said to me, I want to get mommy makeover patients. Do you guys think you could build me a mommy makeover website? Now for you guys who haven't heard me talk about this subject, there's a concept I call in every niche. There's the nickel and the $100 bill. And we like to treat leads as if they're equal, but there's nickel, which is like low volume stuff. In the case of plastic surgery, like a Botox injection, they make a few $100s. It costs them a few $100s. They don't really make money from Botox injections. A mommy makeover costs like 40 grand. It can sometimes be as much as like 100 grand. So they don't really need a lot of $100,000 patients, and it's profitable for them to deliver it. So like you bring them 1 or 2 of those, they're super happy, right? Like in fact, you could bring them 1 mommy makeover patient, and that would be more of an impact than hundreds of Botox injections, right? And so what I do in the niche is really just focus on the highest value thing. You can do this in your niche, and one of the easiest ways to find out what you should specialize in is just to ask the clients, what is the type of client or patient or customer that you wish you had more of, and they'll tell you who their $100 bill is in the form of that answer. So poor little guy over here just fell down. So when I was having the offer that sounded like, hey, let me get married to you and do this SEO and I'll bring you a whole bunch of leads, it was very hard to sell. But when I had an offer that was like, hey, let me bring you your highest value thing, a mommy makeover website, and I'll rank it for mommy makeover keywords, we had an easy time selling it. And part of the reason it was different, but it's only different in the form of like, it's just a little bit of a specialized version of SEO. We were still ranking keywords and doing keyword research and optimizing title tags and doing all those kind of basic things. So if you guys follow that kind of footprint, as long as you're selling new and exciting, you'll have a whole bunch easier time. So I hope those 5 things are helpful to you guys. I would love to hear from you guys. I probably forgot something in there. We got a whole collection of wisdom. I would hear if there's anything else you would like to add. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because you guys are the coolest motherfuckers on the planet. I maintain this, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And that's all I got for you guys in this video. May the force be with you.